To be able to drive public opinion and raise the profile and growth of our clients is it's huge.
Hey, Dr. Bill here, and I have Candis Melamed, my personal publicist, with me today. Candis has been a mentor at LEAP for the last 10 years, and students love her. She gets highest ratings for mentors, and I thought it would be great for you guys to get to know her and spend a little bit of time with her. So this is my friend, my publicist, Candis Melamed, and we're just going to go through the whole rigmarole. So, number one question, why PR?
Well, I just really love talking to people, being an advocate for people. I never knew when I was in high school deciding what industry to go into, what I wanted to be. I had never heard of public relations. My brother, who's 5 years older, had switched majors and came across PR. He came back and said, Candis, there's something called public relations that really fits your personality, and I think you should look into it. So I went into college as a journalism PR major and immediately fell in love with it after my first internship. I knew it was exactly what I wanted to do, and it was totally my calling.
What kinds of courses do you take in college that prepare you for PR?
So I found that the PR major falls under a couple different, it's a sub-major under a couple different majors. One is journalism, which I strongly suggest because in PR you need to have strong writing skills. And most colleges that offer PR under a communications major don't emphasize on the writing as much. And there is one college I found, LMU. We tend to have a lot of students and interns from there, and they do actually have a good focus on writing. Their students come out with strong writing skills. So just a journalism or communications major some schools have a sub-emphasis in public relations.
All right, so what do you love about it?
So I really love being the driving force behind clients. To be able to drive public opinion and raise the profile and growth of our clients is huge. And the great thing is, for me, what I find fascinating is a lot of people don't realize that there's a publicist behind the scenes making that happen. And I really like that. I like being in that space where people are reading articles or seeing interviews, and they're seeing them because of a publicist, because of someone like me. And they're forming opinion and making decisions, but they have no idea that it was intentional.
And what I always tell people is, if there's a doctor or a lawyer or whatever that you're seeing on TV all the time, that's no accident.
Right.
They have a publicist that's helping them get that. And you as a viewer at home think, oh wow, they just keep calling Dr. Bill to be on TV. No, they call her and then she sets everything up, or better yet, Candis will come up with an idea and she'll pitch it. She'll pitch it to different news stations and say, hey, Dr. Bill is doing a new whitening procedure,
right.
And then they'll bring in a camera crew and we'll be on the news.
Or even for LEAP, letting media know that there's a celebrity speaking at LEAP, or drawing attention to a nonprofit organization or something that for example, that you're doing that is great and people should really know about and take part in. To this day, I still get questions, the same question that you asked Sue. So what do you do? Well, what is a publicist? What exactly does that mean? So it's still something not a lot of people know about, and especially people in the health and medical industry, because you don't really learn that as part of your education.
Back in the day when we started, it was it was radio, it was print, it was a lot of magazines, and this now it's mainly like social media,
and digital, web interviews.
And it's crazy how this whole industry has evolved. What would you say today is the biggest challenge for you personally as a publicist?
Well, it's always been the challenge, is breaking through the clutter, breaking through the noise with journalists. They get thousands, literally hundreds of thousands of emails a day with everybody else like me, and trying to pitch them stories and experts and talk to this and do this story and try this product. And so it's really about maintaining those relationships, building them, and making new connections with the new editors and writers that are coming up, and constantly being on their radar and staying on their radar. And I've been fortunate enough to have built some great relationships with writers and producers who call me just when they're looking for somebody, and they just know that I'll be responsive, and even if it's not somebody on our client roster, that I will get to them and I will help, and for them to know that they have that resource is priceless. You know, you can do whatever it is that you're doing, but if you don't have a publicist to bring that to the forefront and to tell everybody and to shed the light on it, then it's great that you're doing it, but you've got such limited reach.
Let's bring this back to LEAP students, okay? We have LEAP students that are watching this, and if they're interested in going into PR, what are your recommendations? How do they do it? How do they start? How do they get an internship? Boom, 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 boom.
So a couple of things I always recommend to the LEAP students every year at the Mentor Roundtable is informational interviews. I think that they are key. When you're a student and you're maybe during your school year, you don't have time to do an internship just yet, seek out industries. Like if you're interested in public relations, but maybe you're interested in fashion, or you're interested in food and lifestyle or music, find publicists that do what it is that you would want to do and ask them for 30 minutes of their time. Most people are more than happy to talk about themselves, and you'll be surprised that they'd be willing to give you their time. Ask them questions that Dr. Bill is asking. How did you start? What did you do? What route did you take? And get an understanding of what their day-to-day looks like. What is it that they actually do in that position, in that industry? The second thing that is huge and it's key, internships, all day long, every year. Do them from high school through college, every semester that you can and have off. And don't just go in 1 day a week. Do 2 to 3 days a week, full days, because that will give you a real understanding of what it's like in the day-to-day workings of an office. And keep in mind that you've got to think of the office space and environment. So you may really be passionate about tech or about health and medical, like our company is, but you may not like the office environment, and you shouldn't let that deter you from taking another internship in PR, because you really want to get the most experience that you can, and internships are the best way to do that.
All right, last question. What's next?
Well, I really believe that you need to have a goal and a map for how you're going to get there. And so my goal for myself and my company is to be the top and the best in the health and medical PR and communications firm. And we're working towards that.
Okay, then I lied. One more question. What are you doing specifically to make that happen?
It's a great question, Dr.
I know.
Well, I am continuing to immerse myself in the industry and look at what's ahead and what's next in health and medical, where things are cutting edge, where the industry is going towards, so that I can be ahead of that curve, and expanding the types of clients that we work with, so that we can be in that position.
And if students out there want to contact you directly, what's the best way?
By email, and it's Candis, Candis, at spotlightcomgroup.com.
And we'll put it on a little camera on there so that we can see it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love this woman. She's amazing. She's not just a great publicist. She's a great friend. She's part of my family, and is a big, big part of my success. So with that,
part of it.
Dr. Bill, over and out.